Assalamu alaikum students of final year. The next topic under controlling is requirements of adequate control. Requirements of adequate control. Adequate and effective controls are able to work efficiently and are needed to help managers making sure that events conform to plans. Adequate controls are specially made and require the following. Number 1, to made according to plans and positions. All control techniques and systems should reflect the plans they are designed to follow. Every plan, kind and phase of an operation has unique characteristics. The information for assessing progress of marketing program is quite different from what are needed to check on a production plan. In the same way, controls should be made to positions in an organization. Control for the sales of department differ from those for the finance department and those for the purchasing department. A small business will need some control different from those for a large business. Some control techniques such as budgets, standard hours, and cost and various financial ratios have general application in various situations. However, it should never be assumed that one of these widely used techniques is completely applicable in any given situation. Managers must always be aware of the critical factors in their plans and operations requiring control, and they must use techniques and information suited to them. Made to individual managers and their personality. Next heading is made to individual managers and their personalities. Controls must be made to the personalities of individual managers. Control system and information are intended to help individual managers carry out their function of control. Some people, such as pharmacokinetists, like presentation of their information in the forms of complex tables of data, mathematical model forms, or computer printouts. The important thing is that people get and understand the information they needed. Next point is, or next heading is, point out exceptions at critical points. A general type control cannot effectively be implemented always to all situations. A control must be able to deal with exceptional situations occurring during a course of action. Such control plans allow the managers to detect those areas where their attention is required particularly. It is, however, not enough only to look at exceptions. One must look for them at critical points also. Some deviation in certain areas may have great significance than larger exceptions in other areas. A manager, for example, might be concerned if the cost of office labor deviate from 5% of allocated budget, but be unworried if the cost of postage stamps deviate from budgets by 20%. Consequently, the standard of exception should be accompanied in practice by the principle of critical control points. Certainly, more the managers concentrate their control efforts on exceptions, the more efficient their control will be. The effective control requires that manager may pay primary attention to those thinkings that are most important. The next heading under adequate control is objective oriented. Information provided by the control system should be objective. However, objectivity is not everything, and managers need to look for a realistic target as well when making decision. When a sales representative is marketing impressive sales every month, or when a production manager is cutting cost consistently, the managers should be pleased. However, this increase in sale may be due to an offer of unauthorized discounts, unrealistic guarantees about the product performance, or promising an early delivery. Decreasing product quality or putting unreasonable pressure on employees can cut production cost. For obvious reasons, the techniques followed by medical representative and the production manager may not be in the best interest of the organization for long run. The control system should therefore provide objective information to the manager for the evaluation and action. However, the manager must take appropriate precautions in interpreting it. Objective standards can be qualitative, such as cost or labors, hours per unit, or date of job completion. The standards can also be qualitative, as in case of training program having specific characteristics or made to accomplish a specific kind of upgrading of personal quality. The next heading under adequate control is organizational climate. An effective control system must fit the organizational climate of different organizations varied largely. In an organization where people have been given considerable freedom and participation, a tight control system may not work and will sentence failure. On the other hand, if a superior who allow little participation in decision making has managed subordinates, a generalized and soft control system will hardly succeed. The next heading in adequate control is flexible in operation. An effective control system itself must be flexible enough to accommodate change. Consider a pharmaceutical organization whose diverse drug product lines require certain number of different raw material. The company's inventory control system must be able to manage and monitor current levels of inventory for all materials. When a modification in product line alters the number of raw material required, or when there is any change in the requisite quantities of the existing material, the control system should be able to accommodate this change. If the controls are unable to accommodate change, entirely new control system will be needed. Designing and implementing entirely a new system would be an unnecessary expense. In production scheduling, the production manager must be prepared for failure occurred by the breakdown of a machine, power failure, or illness of a key worker. If the control system is too inflexible to account for such difficulties, slowdown, even though temporary, may impair control. Much flexible in control can be provided by various probable situations. In fact, flexible control is normally best achieved through flexible plans. Next heading under adequate control is cost effective. Controls must be value their cost. Although this requirement is simple, it is often difficult to accomplish in practice. The expenses and benefits of a particular control may vary with the importance of the activity and size of the operation. Economy of the controls is assessed by their cost to benefit ratio. A limiting factor of control system is their cost, which in turn depends on managers selecting for control only critical factors in areas important to them. If made to the job and the size of enterprise, controls will probably be economical. Control techniques and approaches are efficient when they bring to light actual or potential deviations from plans with the minimum expenditure of cost. The last point under adequate control is able to lead to corrective action. An adequate system discloses where failures are occurring and who is responsible for them. It will ensure that some corrective plans is to be taken. Control is justified only if deviations from plans are occurred through appropriate planning, organizing, staffing, and leading.